Hello everybody, and once again welcome to Synonomics, the Money Machine. Today I'm going to cover a very interesting topic for you, and that is astrology and stock market investing or equities investing. Well guys, interestingly, whether you believe it or not, but astrology plays a very important role in our life, and scientifically it has been proven as well. Actually, astrology is just science. When somebody is born, when a kid is born at any place at a certain latitude and longitude at a certain time, the planet on the which is visible from the at the north end of the sun is the governing planet called Lagna Lord in the horoscope. So, and then the rest of the planets, depending on their situation, their position, they are actually placed in the horoscope, and that's how the astrological chart is created, guys. So technically, essentially, it is a science. Now the relationship between the planets and human being used to be debated a lot, but hey, we all know about the lunar tides. The full moon, we see the lunar tides, and all those are the attraction between the two planets are the one which are creating that. So in the full moon, if the water of the sea rises all the ways up, our body is made up of almost 70 to 75% of water. That will also get impacted as and when the different planets come closer to the Earth. So technically, guys, this is science, whether you believe it or not. Well, for some of the believers, some of you who are believers, let's look at that. Astrology plays a very important role in our life, and so is in our investment decisions. You must have come across many of your friends who have been investing in property and did not make good money. Many of the guys who have been actually investing in stock market did not make good money. What is that? These are all the astrological effects. Well, let's not digress our discussion there. I think this episode is for those guys who do believe in astrology. And many of you who believe in that, in the zodiac signs, I'll go by that, the sun sign and the moon sign. Sun sign is predominantly the ones followed the rest of the Western world, whereas in countries like India and China and others where astrology is a little bit different, and I'm referring to Vedic astrology, Indian Vedic astrology. There the moon sign is the governing sign. So doesn't matter whatever sign you are in, whether it's a sun sign or moon sign, there are some relationship. So I'm going to cover the signs, the zodiacs, their governing planets, and basically the sectors you should be investing in. But before I start that, guys, let me tell you, for all these zodiac signs, they have the governing planet, and the governing planets have some kind of nature as well. They get exalted in a certain sign and they get debilitated in a different sign. So that's very important to understand. If the planet is in a sign where it's exalted, that will give you a much better result. And if the planet is debilitated or the depressed, that's not going to give you good return, guys. That's something important to know. Again, just like we human beings, we have some friends, we have some neutral, some enemies. Enemies means, you know, whom you don't like or who don't like you. That's what enemy is. Or the neutral. Similarly, the planets have their friends and the enemies and the neutral as well. I'll not go into those kind of nitty-gritties, but I'll just tell you that which are the enemies, so that you know that if your governing planet is, say, XYZ, Sun for that matter, and Sun is in enmity with, say, Saturn or Venus, you know that the areas which is governed by Saturn may not be that beneficial for you. And that's the main reason. Guys, all these astrology and everything is just like a roadmap for you. If you have to go from Melbourne to Sydney and don't know the place, or you don't know how to drive, or if you have to go from New York to somewhere like Atlanta, you don't know how to drive, you will look at some navigation tools or the maps or whatever you call that. So these astrology and everything are just the maps. These are the navigation tools which navigate you through the right path so that you can make the right decision. Without further ado, let's start looking at it. I'll start with Aries. Aries, if you are born between March 21st and April 19, you are an Aries sign. The governing planet is Mars. And Mars gets exalted in Capricorn and debilitated in Cancer. Mars has enmity with Mercury. And if you are an Arian, if your zodiac sign is Aries, you should be investing in the areas which is governed by Mars. And those are the areas like automobile, pharmaceuticals, medicines, steel, cement, etc. Taurus, if you are born between April 20 to May 20, you are a Taurus. The governing planet is Venus. Venus gets exalted in Pisces and debilitated in Virgo. And guys, Venus enemies are Sun and Moon. And Taurians, the guys with the sign Taurus, should be investing more in the fashion, hotel, travel, jewelry, hospitality, those kind of stuff. Gemini, if you are born between May 21st to June 20, you are a Gemini. The governing planet is Mercury. Mercury gets exalted in Virgo and debilitated in Pisces. Mercury has an enmity with Moon. So if you are a Gemini, you should keep your cool. Moon governs the brain, the mind. So the people whose moon is a little bit disturbed or weaker, they are a little bit not very stable from the temperament perspective. So you should maintain your temperament, you should maintain your coolness. Well, let's look at the areas of investment. Guys, if you are a Gemini, you should be investing in IT, telecom, FMCG, fast moving consumer goods, as well as textile. Cancer, if you are born between June 21st to July 22nd, you are a Cancer. Your governing planet is Moon. Moon gets exalted in Taurus and debilitated in Scorpio. Moon actually has no enemy. Great. And Moon governs, so if you're a Cancer, you should be investing more in the water, liquor, milk, oil, any kind of a liquid things, petroleum for that matter, as well as in the metals, silver. Silver is the right metal for you. Leo. Leo is the next sign. If you are born between July 23rd and August 22nd, you are a Leo. Your governing planet is Sun. Sun gets exalted in Aries and debilitated in Libra. Sun is in enmity with Venus and Saturn. And Sun governs the areas, and you should invest in those, and those are power, energy, government sector like public sector stocks, as well as gold, the yellow metal. Virgo, if you are born between August 23rd and September 22nd, you are a Virgo. Your governing planet is Mercury, exactly the same as Gemini, so I won't repeat that. You should be investing pretty much in IT, telecom, FMCG and textile. IT and telecom are the big ones for you. And now the whole NASDAQ is for you. And all these magnificent 7 is predominantly IT stocks. You should be investing in those. Well, the next one is Libra. If you are born between September 23rd and October 22nd, you are a Libran. You are a Libra sign. The governing planet is Venus, exactly the same as Taurus, which I covered that in details. And Librans would be investing pretty much like Taurians, and those are like fashion, hospitality, hotel, travel, jewelry, etc. Scorpio. If you are born between October 23rd to November 21st, you are a Scorpio. Your governing planet is again Mars, exactly the same as Aries. And so you should be investing pretty much in the automobile, pharmaceutical, medicine, cement, steel, and those kind of things. Sagittarius. If you are born between November 22nd to December 21st, you are a Sagittarian. Your sun sign is Sagittarian and your governing planet is Jupiter. Jupiter is considered the best planet, is the guru. Jupiter gets exalted in Cancer and debilitated in Capricorn. Jupiter has enemy like Mercury and Venus. And if you are Sagittarian, you should be investing pretty much in the banking stocks, finance stocks like stockbroking firms and all those, as well as FMCG, fast moving consumer goods, and education and jewelry as well. So these are the areas where you should be investing if you are a Sagittarian. Capricorn is the next one. So Capricorn is actually, if you are born between December 22nd to January 19, you are a Capricorn. Your governing planet is Saturn. A lot of people fear Saturn, but guys, Saturn is a very important planet. Saturn is a teacher, actually, teaches you. And that's what people think, that when Saturn comes in your chart, it actually gives you some kind of hardship. But actually, it's teaching you to do things right. And the most important point to note is that in stock market, Saturn is a very, very important planet because it actually governs lots of the areas where we invest in equities. For an example, mining, construction, land, building, real estate, machinery, engineering, including heavy engineering, leather, etc. So anything which is below the ground, all the mining areas, they are governed by Saturn. Again, Saturn gets exalted in Libra and debilitated in Aries. Saturn has enmity with Sun, Moon and Mars. The next one is Aquarius. Guys, if you are born between January 20 to February 18, you are an Aquarian. Your zodiac sign is Aquarius. Once again, your governing planet is Saturn. Just talked about it. So you should be looking at the areas of mining, construction, land, real estate, engineering, heavy engineering, leather, etc. Last but not the least is Pisces. Again, Pisces, if you are born between February 19 to March 20th, you are a Piscean, you are a Pisces. Governing planet is Jupiter, just like Sagittarius. So I won't repeat that, but I'll just highlight it, that you should be investing in banking, finance, education, FMCG, jewelry, etc. With that, I'll just like to touch upon two other planets which are very, very popular in the Vedic astrology, Rahu and Ketu. Without going much into the details, some of you who are knowledgeable of the Vedic astrology must be understanding. So Rahu, if Rahu is there in your chart, any of the places, if Rahu is pretty much in certain chart, certain position, it's going to give you a lot of benefits. Rahu and Ketu actually gives sudden benefit or sudden losses. You should be careful about them. In Vedic astrology, they are considered the shadow planets. They are not real planets, but they will influence. If they are sitting with a certain planet, they take the nature, or they represent exactly the same planet they are sitting with. But Rahu alone, sitting in a certain position, can actually influence a lot in your life. When it comes to investment decisions, Rahu actually is very, very typical to the one that I described, Mercury. So IT, telecom, these are the areas which Rahu governs. Ketu, on the other hand, governs the areas of gas, chemicals, fertilizers, and those kind of areas. Well, I hope you must have found it very interesting, and going forward I'm going to a little bit elaborate on that, especially in the Vedic astrology, where I will actually describe the horoscope, the different 12 positions, and what happens and how these planets impact your life depending on what's your sun or moon sign and where these planets are sitting on your horoscope. With that, remember, Synanomics is out there to help you lead a better life, to give you the idea and the knowledge of multiple disciplines so that you can be healthy, wealthy, and wise. If you like this kind of videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.